I screwed that up. My name is John Schink, and I'm from Deerwood Realty. And I wanted to go over something that I think is kind of important. People keep thinking that the housing market is like bottoming out. And from what I see, we're not even close. We're not even close. So let's get into the article here. Existing home sales plunged to a 13-year low as mortgage rates surge. Now, this is going to be kind of a dense article, and I'm going to try and liven it up a little bit by, stopping every once in a while and explaining things. But let's get to it. It says that existing home sales in September fell to the lowest level since October of 2010 as limited inventory and higher mortgage rates continued to weigh on home buyers, according to the National Association of Realtors. So quickly, what would you think if the limited inventory and higher mortgage rates weigh on home buyers? Wouldn't you think that there'd be less home buying? Yes. Yes, I do too. And that's what there was. So low resale inventory and strong demand continued to drive up existing home prices, marking the third consecutive month of year-over-year median sales price increases. So what we're getting is buyers that are like depressed and miserable, okay, not buying, but there's so little inventory to buy that the prices are still going up. It's already unaffordable to buy a home, and now it's getting more unaffordable as time's going on because of the lack of industry and basically the rate lock. A resurgence of mortgage rates is likely to contribute to a further decline in existing home sales in the months ahead. Now, look, at 6%, I was like, I don't really think this is going to go very well. Well, we've passed 8% now on a 30-year fixed, okay? We're about midway through October of 2023. So, I mean, it's just rough. It's just rough. If you're a home buyer, it's bad. It's bad. You were already beaten up by the multiple offers for the last 3 years. You're already sick of that. And now you get to this point where now you can't even afford the home that you want anyway. It's just been a bad run for buyers, that's for sure. Total existing home sales, including single-family homes, townhomes, and condominiums and co-ops, fell 2% to a seasonally adjusted rate of 3.96 million in September. On a year-over-year basis, sales were 15.4% lower than a year ago. So again, we're seeing sales drop, the number of sales drop, the price staying the same or going higher. I mean, that's just not good. Not good. The first-time buyer share fell to 27% in September, down from 29% in August 2023. In September of 2022, the September inventory level measured increased slightly to 1.13 million units, but was down 8.1% from a year ago. So the amount of inventory was 1.13 million units, but that was down. Down. We need more inventory. We're getting less. Also, first-time homebuyer share, that's something kind of interesting. It used to be that first-time homebuyers were the number one buyers in the marketplace, right? But what we're seeing is, I'm just going to say older people, like boomers, people that have cash stashed away, are actually able to lead this home buying because they're the only ones that can afford anything. And why are those people moving? Well, they want to be closer to their family. They want to downsize. So, I mean, think about that. If you're downsizing, you're in a great spot right now. I mean, but you're one of the few people that can actually buy. At the current sales rate, September unsold inventory sits at 3.4 months supply, up from 3.3 months last month and 3.2 months reading a year ago. The inventory level remains very low compared to balanced market conditions, which is 4 to 5 to 6 months supply. I've always heard it be 6 months supply or longer. And I swear in the time that I've been in business, I don't think it's ever been 6 months. and illustrates the long-run need for more home construction. I disagree with that. I think that there are many people that have homes. I think there's a huge amount of supply out there, but I think it's controlled by investors. And I think that's the main problem. And you may say, well, if we just build more homes, they'll be more affordable, and that investors, I guess, won't buy those too. I mean, just think about that. Homes stayed on the market for an average of 21 days in September, up 20 days in August, and 19 days in September of 2022. In September, 69% of the homes sold were on the market for less than a month. Now, that's always been an interesting statistic for me. Like, if I put a house on the market right now on Wednesday with no showings until Friday, I'm likely to have an offer the first month or the first weekend out. And if I don't, in this market right now, I'm going to be punished. If I don't make it through, if I don't get it under contract the first weekend, I'm in trouble. It means my price is going to go down. Now, it normally takes 30 days to close. I mean, that's a reasonable number here, 30 to 45 days in St. Louis. And I mean, the fact that it's 21 days leads me to believe that there is a little bit of prices are a little too high for the people to buy, and there will be, I think that number will increase as we go on. September all cash sales share was 29% of transactions, up from 27% in August. Boy, this is not edited very well, 22% a year ago. All cash buyers are less affected by the changes in interest rates. That's true. Also, you have to have the cash to be able to be an all cash buyer. And there's only two really groups that are able to do that. Investors, okay? Not unusual for an investor to buy an all cash. Or, like how we were talking about, older workers that have saved, or they have a tremendous amount of equity in their home that they're selling. The September median sales price of all existing homes was $394,000, up 2.8% from a year ago, and that's just that. What I'm trying to get at there is, with the rates going up, it should be affecting demand in a negative way and causing prices to go down. That's not happening because of the supply issue, which is everyone has a mortgage in the threes and they're not really wanting to sell. And by the way, as far as if we built 1 million new houses tomorrow, it's still not going to fix this problem. You need a lot of houses, and even then, I don't see investors not snapping them up. Investors being all cash buyers. Existing home sales in September were mixed across the four regions, and look, I don't even think you can. I mean, I understand the need for regions, but in no way is St. Louis Kansas City, okay? I mean, it's just not. I mean, and I don't want to rip on Kansas City, or I don't want them ripping on me, but in St. Louis, but we're just not the same. St. Louis is not the same as Springfield, Missouri. St. Louis is not the same as Little Rock, Arkansas. All these markets kind of move independently. So I do take, I don't really take too much stock in this, in this regions. However, I will say that in like the Southwest, like Phoenix, places where iBuying was just going crazy, they're seeing decreases. But anyway, let's go. It says existing home sales in September were mixed across the four regions. Sales in the South, West, and Midwest decreased 1.1%, 5.3%, and 4.1% in September, while sales in the Northeast rose. On a year-over-year basis, all four regions continue to see a double-digit decline in sales, ranging from 11.7% in the South to 19.3% in the West. So we're losing home sales by number, but prices are going up. The pending home sales index is a forward-looking indicator based on signed contracts. The pending home sales index fell 7.1% from 77.3% to 71.8% in August. On a year-over-year basis, pending sales were 18% lower than the year ago per NAR data. Now, so again, we're getting this lower transactions, okay, fewer transactions, but more expensive, which is just bonkers, right? So let's just go over a couple of things here. Well, what should you do if you're currently looking to buy a home right now? Well, I've said this. I always thought this was the best strategy. You should be saving your money for a down payment. I mean, if houses are going to stay expensive, you're not being hurt, and having that cash for a down payment, a better down payment, could be more beneficial for your monthly payment on your mortgage, or it could be good for in case of an emergency. What if you buy a house and, like we saw yesterday, your furnace goes out? Now you need to buy a furnace. What if you need to buy a roof? I mean, it's never wrong to hoard cash, in my opinion. If you're a seller, I think I've always thought this, and this is, you need to come to market with a realistic price, okay? And what I'm seeing in St. Louis that people are having a tough time understanding, okay, is if your house is $600,000, if your asking price is $600,000, okay, and the last comp in your neighborhood was when rates were 5%, okay, or God forbid even lower, like 3%, okay, the person that buys your house now has to pay more than double on a monthly payment than that person that bought the house at 3%. Okay? It's almost 2.5 times now. So you need to realize that maybe it's just almost too expensive. Maybe the type of person that was going to buy your house is gone. And so you should be close. I mean, you should be looking at comps everywhere within that price range, because we're adding $100,000, so say $600,000, $700,000. You need to look at more houses in that area, in that price range, to see if you're close to what other people are offering. But this is not like the title to the video, okay? Are we hitting rock bottom? No, okay? This is not rock bottom by any stretch of the imagination. There's going to be pain on many fronts in our industry, in the lending industry, and construction. It's not going to be a crash. It's just going to be a long, drawn-out, miserable situation, and that's the way it is. If you enjoyed this video, it'd be great if you subscribed. Again, I'm under 200. I'd really love to have 200 subscribers. It would mean a lot to me. But other than that, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.